Yeah, hello, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com. The game I am playing is Banished from Shining Rock Software. This is a game that I purchased on Steam. I'm going to pause it. Let's see if I can figure out how to pause it. Okay, I'm going to pause the game. And I've played this according to Steam. It says I've played it for 370 hours. And I know that that's not 100% accurate because I uninstalled it and reinstalled it. This is a fun game. It is a city builder game. And there's obviously, it's a city builder where you have control over building each. You can place every building and the pathways, and you have to grow the population using a formula. And you have natural resources, and it's similar to things like Age of Empires 2 without the military conflict. It's a fun game. I spent a lot of time playing the game. I'm going to talk a little bit about the things that I like and the things I don't like about it. It has a wide variety of natural resources and of professions for the townspeople to participate in. It's not unlimited, but because there are mods that you can download for free, there's a reasonably large number. It's sufficient for the game, and you can add a lot more. And you can get to be unlimited. And as you add more, the skill level of the game becomes a lot easier because some of the resources that you add are just easy. For example, if you add the dairy farmer and the milk and the cheese, it was very profitable and very easy to add, very easy to produce. It changes the balance of the game. Now, the key to the game, eventually you're going to run out of resources because you have to mine for stone and iron, etc. And iron, stone, coal, eventually you're going to run out. So you have to trade for those resources. And therefore you need a lot of docks. And I put as many docks as possible. If I have 30 or 40 docks, that's how many I do. All along the road, I have just dock after dock after dock after dock after dock. And I have boats coming in constantly. And you want to do the auto trade as much as possible because it's going to be impossible to manually trade. So around the docks, you're going to have the marketplaces. You're going to have obviously places where they live, and you're going to have production facilities. You want to produce as much as you can. You want to import logs and produce firewood. One of the most profitable things to produce is ale. So you bring in the different types of raw materials, the food items that produce ale. Let's say it's peaches or cherries or whatever. And you produce the ale production, the breweries near the docks, and then you have it returned to the docks as quickly as possible. So everything is imported and produced and returned in the same location. And when you produce the food, you want to have the farms as close to the storage units as possible. And I have the third-party mod for storage that allows you to do storage in the root cellars or within the mountains, so you can store a lot more food. And I use the windmills to chop logs. So when you have all of these, it makes the game a lot easier. The problem I have with the game is once it becomes very large, because my computer overheats, I have to run it on the minimal graphics settings. Otherwise, the game crashes. The game slows down for me once I get to have a large population. Let's see what my population is. I don't know if this is accurate. It says 2,000 people. So once I get to a sizable population, it starts to slow down. There is a bug in the game, and what the bug is that people are only going to go so far. No, people will actually walk all the way across the map. But I had a problem where I only had one coal mine. And people were going all the way across the map to get to the coal mine. And it was such a long walk that they actually died en route to get to the coal mine. That's how bad the walk was. And the other bug in the game is that people they have needs. They need food, they need shelter, they need to do their job, they need to transport things. And what will happen is where they live is a short distance and they'll have to go home. So they'll start walking home, but before they get there, all of a sudden they're hungry. So then they start going to go get food, but before they get the food, they decide that they're sick, so they have to go to the herbalist. So they start walking to the herbalist, and then before they get there, they decide that they're bored and they need entertainment. So they never get to where they're supposed to go, and it's like they have ADHD. They have attention deficit disorder. So you have people that just don't accomplish anything. And if you highlight the person and watch them as they're walking around, you'll see that there's people that just don't accomplish anything. And the other thing is, they'll switch jobs every minute or so, and I think they even switch spouses. So there's something weird in the AI that makes the game inefficient. It works with a small town, but with a big town it doesn't work. Now, I've played the game for 370 hours on Steam. Is it worth the money? Absolutely. This game is totally worth it. It's totally worth $50 or $370. The only problem with the game is it's a type of game where once the game becomes too complicated, you have to wipe it and start all over again and have the joy of starting all over again. Unless you have a fast computer, there might come a point where you start to have these AI problems. You have to localize. You can't have all your resources in one location. If you do, the game's going to fail. You have to have local farms all over the place. Every time I expand, I provide my local area with all the resources that they need. They're going to have the houses, the storage, the farms, the marketplace. Everything that they could possibly need is within walking distance. It's a localized game. Now I'm going to compare this to some other games like Civilization 4. I haven't played Civ 5 yet. Civilization 4 is like one of the king video games where I really love playing that game. Unfortunately, I've mastered the game. I know the trick to how to win the game. So, it's boring. This is one of those games which doesn't top Civ 4, but it's a contender. Between this, I would say Cities of Motion 2 is the top game. It's worth $30. I'd even say it's worth $50. The other game that I absolutely loved playing was Stronghold Crusader 2. The third version I didn't like so much, but Stronghold Crusader 2 I absolutely loved playing. This is worth $30 or $50. Absolutely buy this game. You're going to enjoy playing this game. I've been playing games since the late 1970s, and I've played so many different video games. This is totally worth it. I'm sure you're going to love it. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.